You're hanging out with the crew of Demon 305, and today we are coming to you from the port of Miami with none other than José Aragu, someone who is a leader in our community. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
We want to get to know you a little bit more, your life, your career. You've been so involved in just Miami-Dade, South Florida. But let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
José Aragu is an immigrant. I was born in Cuba. My father was a pianist. He was able to come to the U.S. on a work visa. And here we are. I made Miami-Dade County home, and we've done a lot of great things. I'm a product of public school education in Miami-Dade County. So when my father came to the U.S. on a work visa with Paquito de Rivera, the musician, we were a year in Venezuela, lived there, and then we came to the U.S.
Wow, what a story. Now, you get to the U.S., and what are some of like the first feelings that kind of go through your mind as a child? You know, what goes through your head at that age coming to a different place?
Well, for one, language was a barrier, right? It was rough to adjust to the new English language. It was nice to see a grocery store that was full of groceries. It was a hard upbringing because my parents were settling, we were beginning our lives here. I remember sharing a bedroom with my grandmother and sleeping on couches for quite some time until we were able to get our feet underneath us and start a new life here in the U.S., which, you know, it's very emotional, it's very challenging, especially for parents coming as immigrants to this country to be able to give their children every opportunity that they can with the means that they have to provide. So I was 15 years old, and my best friend, childhood brother, right, Emilio, said, hey, I think we should become fire rescue explorers. And I said, well, let's do it. And that's where it began. The life of public service, of serving the community. So at 15, we were explorers, or now as they're called, cadets in the fire department. We volunteered pretty much every day, right? That's how much it grew on us. I graduated from high school, and they offered me the opportunity to become a police officer. And I said, okay, let's do it, right? And the opportunity was wonderful. Here I am 21 years later. It's been a great ride, and it's been a wonderful opportunity to be able to serve this community.
In this time, you did serve at the Port of Miami.
Yes.
And that's where we are here. Beautiful, beautiful space. Tell us a little bit about that and how that happened.
Port of Miami was a wonderful opportunity. It was very challenging because, for those that don't know, the Port of Miami is the cruise capital of the world. So we have more cruise passengers in this port than anywhere else in the world. It's about 8 million passengers that travel through here on a yearly basis. And it supports over 330,000 jobs with $61 billion to our local economy. It was a very big job. The Port of Miami has its own K-9 unit, has its own Marine Patrol or Harbor Patrol unit, as they're called here, an incident containment team that is out of the Port of Miami. So there's a lot of moving parts as it relates to security, having to deal with the cruise lines and having a good relationship with your partners, these local public-private partnerships that take place, and of course working under the direction of the port director, which runs the daily operation of this massive port, is very interesting. It's very challenging, as I said before, but we have to keep in mind that this is what keeps our community going, places like this.
Well, what is next for you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm not a politician, right? I never aspired to be a politician, but we're gonna be electing our first elected sheriff in Miami-Dade County in the upcoming months. Because of my education, because of my leadership, because of my preparation, I decided to throw my name in the hat for the sheriff candidate. I know what's important to this community as it relates to community safety, the needs that our community currently has, right? And as the leader in crime reduction in my district, I know what it takes to accomplish that for our Miami-Dade County community. It's been a journey, right? Campaigning, being employed and currently a major in the Miami-Dade Police Department. But I'm doing this for my family, my kids, our community, to ensure that we don't become the next New York, the next California, or the next Chicago. I think it's extremely important. I think law and order and safety is what truly drives a healthy economy.